Hi everyone, it's Amber from The Sensible Mama. It's 5 Ways Wednesday, and today I am here to pack up the Newlie Gail Satchel 5 Different Ways. This is a brand new product line coming to The Sensible Mama, and I am so excited to share it with you. All of their bags are beautiful, but this one has been by far my favorite one, and I'm really excited to show you why. I do suggest following me on Instagram if you want to see more information about bags like this and other ones that I carry at the store. I'm always on my Instagram stories showing you different ways to use these bags and different features of them. So if you're not already following me, I would love it if you would consider doing that. I spend a lot of time on Instagram trying to be helpful, and so I always love it when you guys are over there interacting with me as well. Before we get started, let me give you a quick overview of the features of the bag. It does come with beautiful rolled handles like you see here that are attached with gold hardware. The bag also comes with a pretty comfortable messenger strap. If you are used to the padded messenger straps with memory foam in them, this one might feel a little uncomfortable to you just because it does not have any padding at all. But if you've been using bags like Lily Jade and you're used to this thinner leather strap, this should not be a problem. The bag has a front flap that twists open like this, and that reveals the inside of the bag. Now, these two compartments of the bag do not zip shut, but one thing that I want to point out while we're here is that this flap does a fantastic job holding the bag shut. Because the flap is kind of small, there's not extra material there, it pinches the bag closed, so the bag has the feeling and appearance of being all the way shut, even though the two compartments of the bag are not actually zipped shut. I just had to run and grab the change pad because I did not have it in there. The bag comes with a change pad, as you can see here, and when you get the bag, you will find it in this dedicated pocket for the change pad. You can see that it has a little snap closure right here for putting the change pad inside of. The bag also has a short key leash over here on the side. There are two insulated bottle pockets, one in each compartment. So we have one right here and one over here. There is a fully zipped closure in the center of the bag that stands up really well, and it's very deep. As I'll show you in a minute, this is a great place for putting your mommy essentials. And then on the other side, we're technically looking at the front of the bag now. You have your standard diaper bag stuff, two slip pockets here and here, an insulated bottle pocket, and probably the coolest thing about the bag is a fully insulated snack pocket here. This does not leak and it keeps your stuff really, really cold, which I think is fantastic. On the back of the bag, pretty much the only external structure that you have is this back zip pocket. This is where I keep things like my wallet and coin purse and things like that, but it's big enough for a phone and lots of other little things that you might be grabbing for quickly. The bag is faux leather and it is as slouchy as can be. It's just as slouchy as my full leather bags like my Carry Kit Linux. It's just got a beautiful slouch to it, and it has continued getting slouchier as I have used it. The bag retails for $106, which I think is a fantastic price for everything that you get in this bag. The inside is fully wipeable, so you can clean it out really well, and it's waterproof. It's just a really, really well-made, gorgeous bag, and if you've been watching my Instagram, you've seen me using it pretty much nonstop for the last couple of weeks because I love it so much. So now that we've talked about the bag in a little bit more detail, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the way that this one is packed is just how I've had it packed for the last week or so, carrying this around with my two kids. I have an almost 3-year-old and a just turned 1-year-old. My 1-year-old is still in diapers and she takes formula and food, and my 3-year-old is potty trained, but we're still kind of like 99% there. So we're carrying around lots of things just in case he has accidents and things like that. So let's go ahead and open her up. I have really enjoyed carrying this bag for my two kids. I kind of thought that it might not have enough space in it, but it really has enough space for everything I need, and it stays super organized, which I love. So here's how I've done this. I sort of, for the most part, have this divided up into the front section for Abby, the back section for Roman, and the middle section, this zipper compartment here for me. Sometimes things get jumbled up, but for the most part, that has worked really well. And I love always knowing that Abby's things are here and Roman's things are here, and I'm never getting confused. So sitting in the front portion, which again is Abby's section, one of the first things I have is the Newlie clutch. This thing is actually meant to be like a date night clutch, and that's how I usually use it. And the reason why I say that is because in here you've got zipper pockets, you've got card slot holders and things like that. But because I love how beautiful this looks with the bag, I've been using this as an entertainment needs bag for my kids. I just have little books, some toys, cars, things like that for them to play with when they need some entertainment. Sitting beside that in this main compartment here, I have one little snack stack pod that has teething snacks for my daughter. And then underneath that, sitting down in the bottom, I have a little Munchkin formula dispenser. This bag comes with 2 insulated bottle pockets, one over here and one over here. So you can actually put each kid's bottle on their own side. So over here, I have a bottle for Abby. And then I am using the bag's internal structure here on the front to keep her diapering needs. Let me push it back a little bit. There's 2 stretchy pockets here on the front. So in one of those, I have my Orchid Hearts wipes pouch. And next to that, I have 3 size 3 diapers. Now, if you've been following me on Instagram, you've already seen this really cool feature of this bag. This is the fully insulated, enormous pocket on the front portion of the bag. I have to tell you guys something. Anytime I have used an insulated pouch, I've tended to find that they leak, and this has been the only one I have found that genuinely does not leak. So what I have in here is a couple of different pouches of things. I have a guava, pear, and pumpkin food pouch for Abby. I have some applesauce for Roman. Let's see, we've kind of been into this yesterday while we were out. I have another little food pouch for Abby and a couple of cheese sticks. I also had in here earlier one of those little like paper cartons of apple juice by Mott's for Tots, but my son already got into that. So I've been loving that pocket for keeping snacks that need to stay kind of cool, because that is just really, really convenient. And since I can trust that it's not going to leak into the rest of my bag, I can put it in there and feel confident. So that was everything that was in the front portion of the bag. I'll go ahead and just make my way back. So now I'll go into the middle zipper pocket. This thing opens nice and wide, and there is room for days in here. And again, I've been using this mostly just as a catch-all for things that I carry. So one of the things that I have in here is my medical kit. Then I have, look at how deep it is. I mean, it comes halfway up my forearm. I have a thermometer, some hand sanitizer, my pill case, and I also have a little coin purse with gift cards and coins. So I have lots more room in there, but I've mentioned before, I don't like to overpack. So I usually don't use up all of the available space in my bags, and that's fine with me. Now, before I get into Roman's section of the bag, I did want to show you that back here in this long zipper pocket is where I was keeping my things that I grab for a lot. So that center pocket in the bag I was using for things that I don't always grab for. But in here, I was keeping my phone, as well as a Jujube Be Charged with my cards and cash. And that was pretty much all I had in there. There's not a whole lot of room once you put your phone in there, but it's perfect for putting a small wallet and your phone. So now moving on to the back compartment where I had Roman's things. In the other insulated pocket, I had my 500 milliliter water bottle by Big Bottle Co. These are arriving at the Sensible Mama this week. I'm filming on Monday. They're due to arrive today. So by Wednesday, when this video is up, this will actually be available in the store. It comes in this color and in solid black, and in 500 milliliters and 750 milliliters. Fully insulated, leak-proof, drop-proof. It's amazing, and me and Roman were sharing this for water over the weekend. Then down in his little compartment, I had a Jujube large set piece with changes of clothes for him. Then in this small Planet-Wise wet bag, I have all of his potty training essentials, and I've shown you all of this stuff before, but just to give you a little peek, I have his foldable potty seat, which I will link in the description box below. This has been a lifesaver for us. We try to avoid public potties because we keep a little squatty potty thing in my car, but this is so nice to have when we cannot get to the car. So that fits really well inside of the small Planet-Wise wet bag. And then in here, I also have diapers and toilet seat covers and things like that for keeping everything as sanitary as possible. Then the only other thing that I had down in here, as you can see, I had my water bottle here in the insulated pocket. There is a little pocket here for the change pad. I took out the Newlie change pad just because I happen to like the 12 little change pads better, and this fits perfectly in that change pad pocket. The only thing that I will say that I don't like about this bag is this pocket if you're a mom who doesn't need a change pad. This is an absolutely perfect pocket if you need a change pad because the change pad just fits perfectly in there. But one of the things that I've found is that this sort of flops open if it's empty, and this little snap right here isn't really taut enough to pull it back in. I will say that putting something like a medium jujube set piece in here works pretty well and helps fill that up and not leave all this extra fabric, but overall, that's the only thing that's not my favorite about this bag, and that's really saying something. Usually I have a gripe or two about each bag that I have, and this one, for it to only be the change pad pocket there, that's really saying something. The next way that this is packed is as a work bag, and I want to just give a caveat that I'm not trying to say that this is how everyone will pack a work bag. I'm really just trying to theoretically show you what could fit inside a bag like this, and then you can kind of decide from there whether or not the way you pack for work would work for you. So one of the first things that I wanted to show you is that you can actually fit the 750 milliliter Big Bottle Co. insulated bottle in here, and it sticks up just a tiny bit from the top, really not too bad. Of course, the 500 milliliter does fit better, but if you're wanting to carry lots of water with you all day, you can carry this for sure. Here's the front pocket, which is packed mainly with work-related things that I would be grabbing for quickly. I have some snacks in here. These are my favorite, these Ocean Spray craisins in Greek yogurt. In the main compartment, I also have my traveler's notebook. Everybody asks when I show this, this is a Foxy Fix B6 in the Madison Avenue leather. In the two slip pockets on the front, I have my laptop charger in one, and I have an external hard drive for my computer in the other. Because I have this bag packed fairly full, there wasn't a lot that I could put in this front pocket here, but I did just pack some office supplies like tape, which I find myself needing all the time, and a few pens. Here in the center compartment is where I have my laptop, and guys, this is a 12-inch MacBook Air, and it fits just fine in here. It comes in and out super easily. It's not like I have to work to zip it up. It just fits in there so perfectly, which I love. Then again, because guys, I work from home or at a Starbucks, I don't often know exactly what people would want to carry with them. But I do remember that when I worked in an office, I always wanted a big jacket with me because I would always get cold. And I just want to show you how, this is a huge jacket. Okay, this is actually one that we're bringing to the Sensible Mama. As you can see here, it says Sensible Mama in rose gold on the front. And then it's got Limea, which means love you, mean it always, and our logo on the back. And anyway, this is an enormous jacket. It's really, really huge, and it fits in that back pocket, which I think is amazing. So if you're the kind of person prone to getting cold at work or when you're working at Starbucks, you can definitely fit a big jacket in there, even with everything else that I had packed. This one is packed for a newborn being breastfed and cloth diapered. And let me just be real, it has been over a year since I have been breastfeeding and cloth diapering. So I did my best to remember everything that you would need, but once again, if I've forgotten stuff, just extrapolate from here. Here's what the inside looks like. I'm gonna say I do think this bag would work well for cloth diapering, particularly if you're using something like a Jujube Bee Dapper for your cloth diapers, which I will show in a minute. So over here in this front compartment, I have mostly things related to mom. I do have sitting here in the front though, a Jujube medium set piece. There's no newborn onesies in here because I donated mine, but this is how I always kept my daughter's onesies kind of rolled up really tight, and I would put like 3 or 4 of them in here. You can also put your breast pads in here as well that you can stick down in your bra for collecting any milk that might leak out while you're out and about. Next to that, down in the front, I have a Jujube Be Quick, which represents a manual hand pump. I, again, don't have mine anymore because I'm obviously not pumping anymore, but the way I always carried my pump was in a Jujube Be Quick. I would put my manual pump in here with collection bags and all of my pump parts and everything like that. And that was how I always carried it in my diaper bag, and that fit perfectly down on the inside of this bag, even with it packed pretty full. I have, once again, my 500 milliliter Big Bottle Co. water bottle, because you know it's important to stay hydrated while you're nursing. In the 2 stretchy pockets, I have one packed with a bunch of different snacks. I'm sure I had healthier snacks with me back when I was breastfeeding, but I'm a toddler mom and this was the first thing that I could find. But it's good to know that you can put snacks in one of these pouches for yourself. And then in the other slip pocket, I just had a couple of these Milk Flow fenugreek and Blessed Thistle breastfeeding supplements. I drank these all the time when I was breastfeeding, and I swear it made a difference. When I stopped drinking these, I did notice my supply starting to go down. So I did like to carry these with me, and if I popped in a restaurant or something, I would get a cup of hot water and make one of these. Now, one of my followers on Instagram pointed out that if you are a mom who is pumping on the go and needs some place to put the milk, then this insulated pocket right here would be great for that. So what I've put in here is a couple of little ice packs like this to keep that insulated pocket cold. And let me tell you guys, it's ice cold in there right now. And I packed this bag up probably a good 15 minutes ago and then had to mess around with my technology for a minute. And it is still just cold as ice in this insulated pocket. So I have a couple of these just ice packs in there. And then, gosh, I don't know how long these have been in my freezer, but I do actually have some frozen milk in here, and I'm only pulling this out to show you that even these big Lanzano collection bags, when they're full of milk, will fit in this pocket. I've got 2 in there. I've probably got enough room for 2 more. So it could be a really great pocket for storing milk while you're on the go. Probably not like if you're out for hours and hours at a time, but for short trips, that would be great. Here in the middle pocket, I have just one thing. That is a Lulu Lollipop swaddle blanket, which you could use for swaddling your baby and also as a nursing cover if you so choose. Then over here in the back pocket is where I have everything related to diapering. So I do have that Orchid Hearts wipes pouch sitting in the back. I have a Jujube Bee Dapper, which I use Smart Bottoms cloth diapers when I was cloth diapering, and I can fit 6 of those in here with no problem. If you're using a bigger size diaper like Grovia, you can probably only fit about 4 in there, but I would usually put about 6 of my cloth diapers in here. And I was really impressed actually with how well that fit in this section. As you can see, it's almost bucket style, right? It's got a nice opening down in the bottom, so even something wide like a Bee Dapper fits really well. So then in this pocket that we were talking about before, I do have a change pad, and again, this is the 12 little change pad. And I also have, I need to do a review on this, guys, but the new 12 little 3-pouch trio, they got rid of the insulated pouch. That was the middle-sized pouch from that trio. They got rid of it because it was leaking. As I mentioned earlier, some of these pouches do tend to leak. So what they decided to do instead was give you this really big, spacious wet bag. Look at how big this thing is. And it folds up really nicely because it's nice and thin. So I had that just sitting back there with the change pad for disposing, or not disposing of, but for storing wet and dirty diapers until you get home. And I was really impressed with how that all fit in there. It was a really, really great fit. I was expecting to tell you guys that I did not think this bag would work well for cloth diapering, but I stand corrected. I actually think it would be great for that. The next way that I have this packed is a way that I've never done on a 5 Ways Wednesday before, but I'm entering the stage of my life where I'm gonna have a toddler with me who is kind of high needs, and I don't mean special needs. I don't want anyone to think that I'm trying to tell you how to pack for a special needs child, because I don't have one. I don't want anyone to think that I'm presuming to know how you would pack for that. What I do mean is a high needs child, meaning someone who needs a lot of stimulation or otherwise could be prone to acting out. And if you're that mom who feels like you're leaving the house and entering a battlefield with your toddler, and you feel like you need as many things, as much of a variety of things to pack in your bag in order to keep your child happy and entertained, you might want to pack your bag this way. I actually think this bag works really great for this. I was surprised by how much stuff I could fit in here. So the first thing I want to show you, just to get it out of the way, is that I have a leak pad here in the back compartment. I did put it in this middle zipper and it fit, but you could not zip this up. So I thought maybe it made more sense to just put it in this back pocket here. This is something that my son loves. It's educational, it's fun, and it's very portable. So I love that it fits inside of the Gail Satchel. And because that took up so much space, that was really all I had in that back compartment. In the front compartment here, I just have lots of different entertainment needs. I have the small pouch from the new 12 little 3-pouch trio that has got crayons and paper in it. I was gonna put stickers in here too, but evidently Roman has run off with like the whole packet of our stickers. But this would be a great place for putting any kind of arts and crafts needs, so that you could hand this to your child at a moment's notice. I also have in here a Fat Brain Toys Dimple Duo, which is something that we carry at the Sensible Mama. You might look at this and think that, well, this is not advanced enough for a toddler, but my 1-year-old Abby loves this, and my 3-year-old Roman loves it too. He uses it to practice shapes and colors, and he just loves the stimulation. And to be honest with you, sometimes when he's having a meltdown, if I hand him something like this that just gives him something to do with his hands and keeps him busy, this will just end the meltdown, which I think is important. Next to that, I have 3 Replay Snack Stack pods all put together with different snacks in each one. And then beside that, I have a sippy cup. In the front slip pockets here, I have a Kindle. And I didn't have anything in this other slip pocket, mostly because with the Replay Snack Stack over here, it just didn't give me much space, but you could definitely fit skinny things in there. I just couldn't really think of what would fit in there nicely. And then here in the middle compartment, I have lots of my favorite books for keeping my toddler happy. One of them is I'm not the most proud of, but it's Baby Shark. And let me tell you, it's engaging, it's fun, and it's got all kinds, I'm not gonna push it, but it's got all kinds of different versions of the Baby Shark song. And sometimes that extra stimulation when it comes to reading a book with the sounds and everything just makes a big difference. I also have the A is for Apple book, which we use to practice letters. I've really enjoyed this one because it's a peekaboo book. You can see Roman has just really worn it down, but he's doing a great job learning his letters with this. And then one of my favorites for getting him calm when he's like anxious or just having a moment is Brown Bear, Brown Bear. They have the new version where it actually slides to the next thing in the book. So if you're not familiar with this book, it says Brown Bear, what do you see? And you used to have to turn the page to see the next thing, but now that your child can actually move this to see what the next thing is. And so Roman, we get a lot of mileage out of this book. And then the last thing that I have in here is this is actually the sunglass case from my Limea sunglasses that I carry at the Sensible Mama. And what I have in here is all of my son's little toy cars. I can fit a ton of them in here. They're nice and safe. I know that they're not gonna get lost. And I also like that he can just use this as a noisemaker too. So that's all that I had in there. I thought that it packed up really well that way. You could probably fit more if you didn't use the Leap Pad, if you just had other toys that you wanted to carry in here. But I think this would be really great for those toddlers who need all the reinforcements when you go out and about. The last way that I have this packed is as an oh joy, the airline lost my checked luggage bag. Whenever I'm traveling by myself, I usually try my best to just pack a carry-on bag, but sometimes I have to have a checked bag, and I always like to carry a bag that I know that if my checked bag gets lost or delayed or anything like that, I have at least enough stuff to kind of get by for at least the next day, maybe 2 days, while my luggage ends up wherever I am. So this is packed as an emergency backup bag that you would carry on the flight with you, just in case something happens to your luggage. Now the first thing that I have in here is the Newlie clutch. This one is packed up as a wallet because often when I get where I'm going, I don't actually want to carry this whole big bag as my purse. So I do like to have something to use as a little purse slash clutch while I'm out, and this stays in the hotel. In the front slip pockets, I have a hairbrush and a teething comb. I'm from the South. Higher the hair, closer to God, we always say. In the next slip pocket, I have some Neutrogena face wipes for getting my face clean at night. In this front pocket, and this really amazed me, guys, I was able to fit my curling iron and my straightener. I would usually have my blow dryer in my checked bag because most of the time at a hotel, once you get there, they do have a hair dryer in the bathroom where you're staying. But I like knowing that I can count on having my straightener and my curling iron in this bag with me, and those fit in there beautifully. In the center pocket, I do have my laptop just because I'm always traveling with that and it fits so well in there. And then in the back pocket, I just have a couple of more things. Keep in mind that this is a carry-on bag. I'm gonna be carrying it through the airport. I don't want to cram it full with everything I could possibly bring and make this super heavy. So I've just got the essentials in here. And one of the things that I've packed up is, this is actually the mesh centerpiece from the 12 Little Diapering Clutch, and I like using this for makeup essentials. This has just got a few things in it that I know would pass through security since I'm using this as a checked bag, and I could just do a little bit of makeup the next day while I wait for the rest of my stuff to get there with my checked bag. And lastly, in this little slip pocket here that I told you about earlier, I have a Smart Bottoms wet bag, and this just has a spare bra, spare undies, and 2 t-shirts in it, as well as a little like nightie, which I'm not gonna show, but just something like a cotton comfy thing to wear at night in case all my clothes were missing. Again, not gonna show you all that stuff, but I like carrying something like this just for the essentials. I can usually count on wearing my pants the second day while I wait for my checked luggage, but I do want a clean shirt and clean underwear and things like that. So socks and all that goes in here. And it all fits perfectly in this bag. It still stays pretty lightweight. I don't think it would feel too uncomfortable on your shoulder. And since you do have the option here of either going tote style or messenger strap style, I think you'd stay pretty comfortable going around the airport. All right guys, so that's it for this week's 5 Ways Wednesday, where I packed up the Newlie Gail Satchel. Again, these are available now at thesensiblemama.com, so if you want to check those out, go ahead and click the link down below to go to our website. Again, don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you want to have some input about what kind of videos I'm making on my channel, as well as just seeing lots of other content, tips, and tricks about the bags and other things that I carry at thesensiblemama.com. Love ya, mean it, always, mwah, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.